It's raining. Raining points.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go.
Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. This is me, Eric, and I am live as usual at halftime with a 24-20 Raiders lead. A wild and woolly game. A lot of ups and a lot of downs. Started a little bit rough. Got right back into it. I want to say hello to everybody. I see Dominique in here. How you doing? I am on TikTok as well. And I have 69 people in TikTok, 74, and it's climbing. So we're going to have our halftime report. I'm going to go over my good, my bad, my ugly. I'm also going to go over my 4 keys to the game that I normally go over. So let's get right to that. If you are not familiar with it, this is how we normally do it. We have what we call the rundown here, and this is what we're going to talk about, and we're going to go to you, question answer segment, and then get back to that second half of the game. So let's do it. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, let's talk about the good. I want to give some love out to the big men there. Billings and Bilal doing well, especially on the initial drives. Not a whole lot of running up the middle. Let's be honest here. More of it's been on the outside. They're also getting pressure on Geno Smith. Gotta love that. And then, of course, Josh Jacobs kind of turning into beast mode there. No pun, well, I guess you could say pun intended in Seattle for sure. Absolutely stiff-arming that one guy, getting into the end zone for the touchdown. So those are the highlights of the good. The bad, Amir Abdullah, he thinks he's Johnny LaRue, so every time he scores, he has to do his little roundhouse kicks and all that. I mean, he actually hit Diggs there and got the penalty. I mean, at least watch what you're doing. I mean, this is why the Raiders get the reputation they do, that, oh yeah, we're so stupid we can't even celebrate properly without getting penalties. The next one, all I want for Christmas is some new gloves for our secondary. We had a couple opportunities for some picks, let them out of our hands. Of course, Deron Harmon should have had that one. Merrick was jumping. You could say that's a 50-50 type ball. Hey, Al's Ghost, I see you in here as well. Officer Rollout, what's going on? Nice 87 in the chat. That's right. We're doing our halftime report simulcasting on TikTok and YouTube at the same time, folks, and we'll be back 6 p.m. Pacific to do our full game review. Now, as far as the ugly goes, I got to say this, Derek Carr, 2 early interceptions. The first one I'm going to put on him for sure. Second one, of course, bounced off of Foster Moreau's hands. How many times do I have to talk about Foster Moreau? He needs to go. I'm tired of him. He causes too many problems. And of course, again, the two-handed holding and running and falling down because he's too afraid of fumbling the ball. It's ridiculous. Carr, I put an asterisk there because he has kind of redeemed himself a bit, spreading the ball around, looking pretty good. I mean, we have over 240 yards of total offense in this game. It's unbelievable considering we had 50% chance of rain in the game. That has not happened, but a lot of points have happened. So let's get to what I want to talk about here, though. And in my game preview, I'm going to go over these 4 keys to the game. I usually do 2 on defense, 2 on offense. I wanted at least minimum 1 turnover for Geno Smith. We got that turnover. Less than 50% third down conversions. We're on track for that. We did give up the red zone touchdown, but however, the ball was turned over by Derek Carr, and they started in the red zone, so I can't really nail the defense that hard on that one. Kenneth Walker's been doing okay. I don't think he's been a game changer. Not to say he sucked, but he's been all right. I think if we can keep him bottled up, I think we're having a bigger problem with the receivers, especially DK Metcalf. Now, on the offensive side, Foster Moreau, he's getting more into it. He needs a little bit more. I'd like to see him get a touchdown, like I said. Josh Jacobs is on pace to get that 120 rushing yards. He's already got the 1 rushing touchdown. We'll check out the 8 rushing first downs. We'll look at that in a minute in our stats. But first, I want to say hello to each and every one of you. How are you guys doing? We do our halftime show right here. How you guys doing? I do have a poll, a live poll in chat and YouTube. I want you to grade the Raiders' first half performance. Is it an A, a B, a C, or a D? How you guys doing? Hey, Lars, I see you out there. Thanks for coming on in here in the TikTok land. We're doing so well. I'm going to say overall, I'm going to give it a B to a C. You could argue that we should be dominating this game. Had we not gotten ourselves in a hole, those 2 early turnovers, we should be doing much better than we are. I know the defense gave up that long drive coming back, but Tyler Lockett's still tough, still deep. Cornerback is still an issue. It has been an issue since the offseason, to be honest with you. DK Metcalf, we can't cover him in man. Number one, we don't have anybody that can cover him in man. And 2, he is too darn big and strong and is going to bully his way. Kind of like Cortland Sutton. He can do that as well, but Metcalf's even bigger. So again, like Sandy says, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, or if you're on TikTok, be sure to follow so that way you'll be notified of my future live streams, including tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. And I want to hear your thoughts real quick. It looks like we're going to be getting to the halftime pretty quick, so we got a few more minutes. Put your comments in the chat. Tomorrow I will be rolling out the full chat with the link in the description if you want to do that. Right now we're only going to go about 10 or 15 minutes, so let's see the live chat. World Cup. I see you, World Cup La Cruzin. How you doing? We're talking about the American football right now. We're going to be doing halftime of the Raiders. We're going to be doing a full report here on 6 o'clock tomorrow. Let's see. I'm trying to get the live chat. I don't know why it was doing that. It was giving me a little problem with the live chat right there. So far, a lot of you are voting B. I'm going to give it anywhere from a B to a C. I think the defense really kind of kept us in the game early. Like I said, had some breakdowns in the receiving game, of course, with both good receivers. They're both above average receivers. But we need to get a little bit better pressure on Geno, of course. We had some interior pressure early on. We didn't see that much in the last drive of Seattle's. I want to see a little bit more of that as well. Let's see. So I want your thoughts. I want your thoughts on this game at halftime. 24-20. Unbelievable. It's going to blow my prediction out of the water. I was also assuming that we were going to have some kind of precipitation. I believe they had it in the morning. So Sandy says B, maybe B minus. The Raiders are going to win. The Raiders should win this game, barring any more turnovers, any more stupidity. Again, we dug ourselves into a hole. Seattle has only had one decent drive, in my opinion. The rest of the time they played on a short field and capitalized on it for 10 points. We got our turnover and got 7 off of it. So it's time for Derek Carr not to throw into double coverage, into bracketed coverage like Moreau. Even though it went off Moreau's hands, they were saying that it was deflected. It wasn't. If you look at the replay, it actually bounced off his hands. But still, that's not a very smart throw. They started getting Devontae Adams into the game instead of being a decoy. That flea flicker play, it's like one of Josh McDaniels' gadget plays finally worked. The flea flicker, they bought into it with Josh Jacobs running the ball. Matt Collins was out there easily, wide open in the middle of the field. However, the best part of it was that they doubled Devontae Adams, so that whole left side was empty. He just basically walked in, made the Seattle's defense look stupid. So I want to hear what else. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Put in the comments you heard what I had to say. Again, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific, we will be on live, and I will have the chat function open. We'll have live chat. You can come on board. You can be on camera if you want. You don't have to be. You can sound off with your mic without the camera. I want to hear your thoughts on this game. What's up, Green? I see you in here. Thanks for following. Same thing with you, CZR944. Thanks for the follow as well. We're going to be getting back to the game. Of course, I can't show the game to you due to copyright issues, but I will be getting back to the second half. I like to come on live. I want to hear your thoughts. Overall, I was getting a little upset. I think Carr's kind of redeemed himself a bit, but no more. He can't have any more turnovers, any more stupid plays. Dominique says the defense is playing well overall. Yeah, they had some breakdowns in the passing game. Again, this is a reflection that we don't really have any true corners. Rocky Sin got absolutely burnt on that play with Tyler Lockett. I call him Rocky burnt, but we need help on the defensive side of the ball. I'm hoping we use our first round pick on that. But we'll get to that in the offseason. Al's Ghost says McDaniel should have taken a shot in the end zone at the end of the half. I think DC bounced back pretty good. I think they were a little gun shy, especially after the second pick, to be throwing a little bit deeper into the field. You can notice they're spreading the ball around, and it's short to intermediate passes. Now, they're not really going deep on this team because Seattle has shown that if you do, we can hurt you with it. So they're basically taking what the defense is giving them, and they're using plays to their advantage, like the flea flicker. Like I said, a gadget play that actually worked for a change for Josh McDaniels. They were gun shy. Well, when Derek Carr comes out and his first pass is an interception, because he's a little off target with Devontae Adams, and then the other one deep to Foster Moreau off his hands. They're bracketing him with a linebacker and a Diggs behind him. They're going to do that. I mean, it makes sense to me. I think after that, if we didn't have those miscues early on, this game would be a blowout. Let's face it, guys. And this is a team that's 6-4 right now. Seattle Seahawks. They're 6-4 team. I believe they're in line for a wild card on the NFC side. So I think overall we're doing pretty well. We're doing what we need to do. Let's get to the stats. I like to look at the halftime stats real quick before we end this. We're going to be going into the second half right here. So we got 4 rushing first downs. I wanted 8, so we're on pace for that. Just see where Josh Jacobs is. 72 yards, 15 carries. He's dominating them, and it was no surprise. Seattle's run defense is terrible. I was looking for 120. That's pretty aggressive. He's already on pace for over 140. So Kenneth Walker, not really doing the job here, to be honest with you. He had that one run after the first turnover, but after that, if you discount that, he's not doing much at all. Let's see. Geno Smith with the interception. He could have had that other interception with Deron Harmon. Get him some new gloves, please, so we can have another interception there. Derek Carr kind of redeeming himself. Let's see what they do in the second half. LaCruzan said Raiders will come out looking good after the half. I hope so. We've seen that sometimes they only play 2 quarters. Sometimes they turn it on in the second half, like against Houston. So let's see. Here are the total stats. Anything? Third down efficiency, 5 of 7. That is awesome. That is unbelievable. Of course, we didn't try to push it at the end, but still, no. A lot of those have been third down passes too by Derek Carr. So, kind of redeeming himself. Kind of made some mistakes. That's a quality of a good quarterback too. I'm not looking for infallibility. However, I want to see you bounce back from your mistakes, and he's been doing that. So, anything else you guys want to talk about before we get back to the game? They are kicking off. Seattle gets the ball in the second half again. I will be coming on live at 6 p.m. Pacific to go over the entire game review with grades, and then I'll have a little announcement too for the channel. Of course, we've been talking about that if you're not new here. So thank you for coming out again. As always, well, officer roll out before we go. How about a long field goal in the second half? Well, it could happen, especially there is no rain today, it looks like. Hopefully we won't get any rain. It's still cool. I believe it's about 45, 50 degrees out there. But that would be advantageous for Daniel Carlson. So 1,200 likes. I see 1,300. And how many likes? Hit that like button on your way out. And come see us again Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, Monday night. We'll do the full game review. With that said, thank you guys for coming out, and as always, go Raiders.
Something with all the distractions that you have off the field, how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years?
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: Just win, baby.